Sagittarius, don't be surprised if the way that you see the world and what is important to you, what is most important to you, don't be surprised if it shifts a lot right now. The reason being, hold on. Yeah, so don't expect that there's going to be a big change in how you see something, especially someone. All of this is happening. There's a lot of intense third house power coming from everywhere right now, and it's because the North Node is in Gemini, but it's really being magnified right now with its relationship to where Mercury is, and Mercury is in Aquarius. So there's a sense of a broadening, awakening, and changing because of communication or information that's coming in. Like, information is changing the way that we see things. Now, for you guys, primarily if you're doing a Sagittarius, first house Sagittarius, or Sagittarius rising, ultimately this is happening in your third and fourth house. The clusterfuck that is the planets right now is happening in your third and fourth house, but the huge and very explosive and rebellious, and it will change things kind of energy that's happening in Taurus right now is happening in your seventh house, and that is essentially where Mars and Uranus are conjuncted and like basically sitting on top of each other right now. So ultimately, it's just going to change something in your seventh house. Your partnership, something maybe with your partner, with the person that you're with, is going to really change your understanding or realization or the way that you see somebody else, the way that you see a relationship that you've set on or been set on, especially in your fourth house. So your childhood, your upbringing, it's going to make you see things in a whole different light. It's going to make you see the person in a whole different light. Now, it could be that there's this woman in your life that is, it could be your partner, right? That is a wealth of information, emotional intelligence, emotional understanding, a depth to her ability to love, basically finally understanding or awakening to your mother's love for you, or questioning the authority, moving away from the authority that you thought somebody used to have, and starting to realize their weaknesses, starting to realize that they are not as trustworthy, reliable, or as strong, just as strong or as right as you thought they were, starting to realize different people's weaknesses. Not necessarily, it's almost like this is seventh house is your spouse or your partner, or because of your partnership, it's almost like feeding all this energy to the change, or it's coming from that partner or your partnership or the person that you love is making you wake up, and your relationship itself is making you realize things that you never realized before. It's starting to change the way that you see relationships in general, the house that you were raised in, somebody that you really thought was had it all together. It's like all of a sudden you don't see them that way anymore, or maybe you see them better for what they are. Like because you've been able to step away and have a little bit of distance now, a little bit of safe space, you're able to finally see them in a different light. So it's up to your situation as to whether it's good or bad. Some of you, it will be like, oh, I never realized that this person really loved me that much, or I never realized that this person was a lot weaker and a lot more insecure than I thought they would be. But ultimately, it's kind of being magnified. It's coming through your partnership. It's coming through what your relationship, if you're in a romantic relationship, has made you realize, or realizing something about your parents' relationship, or the relationship that you thought was so perfect, but now that you step back, you realize, oh, it's really not. There's these realizations, there's these aha moments, there's these what the fucking fuck moments is all coming out now, and sort of especially between your seventh, your third, and your fourth house. So it's almost like really getting the intel, realization, and understanding. It's all coming in now. Information is coming in that's going to change the way that you how much respect you have for somebody, how you see somebody, how much you care for somebody, and almost realizing that maybe, just maybe, your life isn't so bad, because now you realize that other people aren't as amazing as you thought they were, or if you've compared yourself to others a lot. There's just this intel coming in that's going to make you change how you see people, especially people from your childhood, your family, how important things are to you. Maybe you're putting more importance on them now. You're realizing, oh, I've ignored that aspect of my life for a really long time, and maybe it was because of shit that happened to me in the past. I say this because there is definitely elephant energy coming through, so it's like learning from your past. Also maternal energy. Realizing what somebody is about, or what their motivations were, something that you're learning a lesson that's taken a long time to learn, but it's definitely like this aha moment, this awakening, this realization happening to you around this time, because this time is all about impactful reveals, like things that will shock you, things that will change you in a heartbeat, make you realize that you have to do something about something that you have not paid attention to the way that you should have. And this is going to be like, well, can't ignore it anymore, man. Like that, it's kind of like, and you're not going to want to. That's the thing. It's going to be so impactful that you're not going to want things to stay the same. You're going to become this active participant in the change of your life, of your life's behavior and the way that it's going. So let's get a little bit into the cards. This is where I start out. This is basically moving away from authority. So something that has had a lot of impact in your life, something that has basically been something that you've trusted. It could have been it could be someone, it could be a belief system, something that you believed for a really long time. You're getting away from it. You're moving away from it. You're traveling away from it. You're getting a perspective, a distance on it that is giving you a different perspective of it. And then this comes out as, especially if you're a female, identifying as female, there is a sense, Sagittarius, of an emotional depth, emotional awareness, somebody who is very wise and understanding and very deep, a woman in your life who has a wealth of emotion and depth that you were not aware of, or were not aware. Maybe this is you becoming more emotionally deep, more sort of maternally deep, or realizing how important things that are associated with femininity are. Like it's having so much more gravity on you now. It's weighing in. It's so much more important on for you right now, especially since this clusterfuck is happening in your 4th house. This could have something to do with your mother, your relationship with your mother, or with you being a mother and how you've raised your kids, or you wanting to be a mother. So it's really like the pressure point for you is 4th house shit. I'm just letting you know. Now this kind of makes me think even deeper in this sense, because Penguin is authenticity. So there's a sense of really loving somebody, starting to see how much somebody really wanted to care for you, or take care of you, or loved you, or how much you really want the family dynamic in your life right now. It's got to do with how important that is to you, how much gravity and how much impact it's had on your life right now, that relationship or those lack of relationships have had in your life right now. And of course you have Elephant too, which is a very strong, very powerful matriarch, could have been a grandmother, but also just a sense of very strong, powerful maternal instincts, or like I said, learning from the past. So this is the past. How the hell were you raised? Your family, something is coming out, a realization, a recognition, or basically a message. Hawk is here. Hawk is a direct message from spirit, so watch out for those that spiritual energy that's floating around you right now. Those messages that are coming in, whether it's from songs that you hear, it's basically saying that you're going to get information flat out from the past. It's taking you right back, and it's making you change the way that you see or think of, especially a formidable female or role model in your life, or that female role model that you have, that you are. It's changing you. Spirit is sending you messages 100%, and it's going to dominate and change your relationship with these matters. Leo, higher calling. It's almost like it's time to wake up. It's like it's time to stop being a child and start being an adult. It's time to get real and understand that there are more important things in life that maybe you haven't been focused on or haven't wanted to focus on. Well, this is gonna like push, razor sharp focus, and it won't even be difficult, because it maybe have been very easy for you to get distracted in the past. You're not even going to want, I'm just saying, like, it's coming from inside of you. You got Leo energy here. It's coming from inside of you. Like, it's like you're not even going to want to be distracted anymore. It's like, bam, like all of a sudden your heart wakes up and it's changed and 100% different. Regeneration. This has to do with maybe you're healing from something. You're healing from damages. You're healing from a wound. You're regenerating how you feel about something in your life. You're finally able to grow it back and become stronger. And whatever was missing in your life, it's not missing anymore. And it's like you're realizing that you're able to finally heal yourself and move on from this energy that has basically been a dominant energy, something that you believed, or somebody that had a lot of impact in your life. It's like it's regenerating. Your relationship is healing, or you're able to move on from or finally heal different behaviors or things that you had become a reality or a staple in your life. It's almost like they're washing away like water now, because you're realizing that they don't have any part in my future, because that's what I'm all about right now. I'm about my future. I'm about where I'm headed. I'm about what I want to be doing with my life. I'm not about what I was stuck in from years past. This is a breakthrough that's hitting very close to home. Okay? Alignment. And this is already telling me this is information that you finally get, or a message, a communication that you have that comes in, and it finally helps you to rebalance an aspect of you that was extremely unhealthy. Because I always equate health with balance, right? Something was unbalanced, and now it's coming loud and clear right through. So you're going to be able to finally recognize and see something that you haven't been able to see before. And it's going to clear all the clouds away. So this is realigning yourself, aligning yourself with spirit purpose, having direction, but also kind of triumphant and victory. Because this is almost my Ace of Swords energy. So it's almost like something that you've struggled with for a long time, you're finally going to be able to defeat. Reason being, it's like you're going to be inspired to. Now, what this is, the details, I will go into that in tarot. The link is below, just so you know. There's always an extended, but I can get deep into specific questions there, and that's what we'll be doing. It's like, so what is this victory in? What is this triumph? We'll get into that in tarot, but there is a triumph here, and it does have to do with information that you have now that you did not have before, become like awakening. Oh my God, why did it take so long for it to get through into my head? Why did it take me so long to frickin' realize that? It's like, and that's why I'm saying enlightenment isn't just something that you know, it's something that becomes you. It's a total spiritual soul shift. So when you're enlightened, it's like you get awakened to something that will change you forever. And that's why it's not just a piece of information that you're like, oh, that's interesting, I'll think about it, and then it's in one ear out the other. No, this is information or an experience, something that happens that changes you, that impacts you in a way that you're not going to need to be reminded anymore. You're not going to need to even have any more information. It's almost like now you're like the fucking expert on this. You know, it's like you have all the information that you need. There is a huge shift in you, a huge awakening, a huge breakthrough that comes through your perspective, or a realization. You know, if you've struggled with something for years, you have trouble learning or something like that, it's like all of a sudden this breakthrough happens. It's not magical. It's a realization. It comes through you. It's a realization of maybe I've got to learn this, or all of a sudden it's like for some reason you've been offered to take a class or something, and it's like bam, it changes your life. You know, it's something that you're actively participating in, right? And you're just going to want to charge after, and it's going to change you. It's 100% going to change you. Maybe something that you've never done before. Maybe you would have never tried something like this before. But all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, that's I'm meant to do this. Be bold and make the first move, right? You're actively participating. So this isn't just coming randomly. This is coming directly from you in getting the information that you need, in collecting and asking. So ask. And the information will come to you. In other words, this is about Gemini energies. Gemini is about learning, education, communication, educating yourself, getting the information that you need and realizing it, learning it, and like letting it change you. The energy is gaining momentum. So this is information is coming into you, and it will keep coming into you. The more that you ask, the more that you will receive. So that's actually really important to know. So this is definitely the time to learn and to go after the answers that you've been wanting, to understand them, to, if you've had any questions, it's like dig in and dig down now, because this is when it will just like blow up your world. And ultimately for the better. The outcomes of the immediate impacts, not so sure, but you'll at least feel a relief. You'll at least feel okay, this might mean I have to struggle a little bit more, but ultimately, at least now I know the direction I have to go. Like I said, just because you have your coordinates laid in doesn't mean there's not going to be craziness along the path, but at least now you know where you have to go. That's the beautiful breakthrough of this week for you. Take a breather and put others first. So it's almost like maybe I don't hear this as taking a break from putting other people first. I hear this as putting people first that you love and taking a break from all the stupid shit. You know, allowing yourself to just basically, or being forced to take a break from all the stupid shit so that you realize how very, very important the people that you love are, and you can focus on taking care of the people that you actually care about instead of being distracted by all the superfluous stuff around you. Now, let's get into your totem messages, your animal totem messages. Sagittarius, what are the messages coming in from your animal totems? These are very important messages because ultimately what they show is kind of the messages, because when this card comes out, it's very important. These messages are coming in, and this is saying that Spirit is going to be communicating to you through animal totems. So this is very important as to, for your reading especially, what animal totems you're going to actually be seeing. Okay. So I'll tell you right now, you're going to decide on your future. There's a decision that's going to be made that's going to stick, and you're going to know exactly where you're going to be in the future. Because when this card comes out, it's like Spirit has made it ridiculously clear as to where you're going to land and what your purpose is. And so this is where you land. This is where you take root. This is your purpose in life, and you're going to know how to get there. It's like the information is coming into you. I just want to be sure. Hold on, the other cards didn't drop. Okay. In the past, let's start out with the past. So there was a lot of abundance and a lot of information that came in from the past. This is also healing. So abundance of health, abundance of healing, recognition or realizing what it takes to take care of yourself, what you need to do to take care of yourself, resources in order to take care of yourself, being able to nurture yourself. Remember, because Virgo, and this is Virgo and Taurus energy. So this is pragmatic in the 3D world. Also a sense of maybe your own self-esteem and the way that you feel about yourself, and healing different aspects of how you feel about who you are, how much confidence you have in terms of your ability to be educated, or educating and your confidence in education, or your confidence in your self-esteem in how you learn or what you've learned, and putting what you've learned to work, and to like actively using what you've learned to help increase or improve upon your self-esteem, or basically care that needed to happen in terms of what you've learned, or something with education or learning, or having to cultivate your ability to know how to use it and know how to put it to use or usefulness or resourcefulness. There were diseases here, there were troubles, there were difficulties, there were things that had built up for a long time, little things that you tried to put away, like, oh, this isn't working for me, but that doesn't matter because I can do this and I can do, and it's like little by little, it's like you were backing yourself into a corner because you were not working on what you were not working on. The pile of I won't do this now became bigger and bigger and bigger, and it started to build up over time, and it did build up, and it became an actual either disease or sickness or serious difficulty, but it had been cultivated for a long time. Manipulating things, having to manipulate things, or having to be overly manipulated. It's like in order to avoid it, it's like it's almost like you were very, very good at avoiding this for a very, very long time, maybe shoving it under the carpet, not taking care of it, or convincing people that it was going to be okay, or finding alternate routes. And now it's like all those routes are blocked, and you're forced to basically handle this circumstance, this situation right now. You're forced to hold on. Okay, good. Sorry, craziness in the house. So, sorry about I know that it, to you, wasn't an interruption, but for me it was. So, all I know is something new is taking root in your life. Now, what that new thing is, we'll clarify with tarot, but ultimately something new is taking root in your life, and you're going to be actively a part of it because you want to. You want this change. Now, you may not, this is the thing that you have to realize about the energy that's surrounding you right now. Whenever you're watching this video, this is what's going on. It's like, this may not have been anything that you've actually thought of, but from what I see in the past, it does seem to be like there was a sickness, there was a malignancy that has been nurtured for a while. Something that, a belief system, how you feel about yourself, a miseducation that has been a malignancy for a while. And it's this exposure, it's like, bam, exposure, because basically it's backed you into too many quarters. It's required you to manipulate too much. And it's good to be dexterous, right? It's good to be malleable. It's good, but so like it's almost like a ping pong ball. There are only so many times it can go back and forth, or so many walls it can hit itself against before it just like strikes out. And that's something that's happening basically, is the strikeout. And the strikeout is what makes the realization really come through and makes you realize something that has to change. But also, it's not like shame. It's like crap, okay? It's almost like, and this is why I love you guys so much, Sagittarius. As soon as you recognize it, it's like, bam, change, done, different direction. Yay, now I have a different way to go. Now, what's happening now? Use your mind wisely. So there's wisdom coming through. This and that are true. Being able to see, understand finally that something else could be good. Something else that is good for you, you could want in your life. Realizing that something maybe you never expected, anticipated, or like a point of view or perspective, a lifestyle, or just something. Like you never thought, really, it never really occurred to you that this could be something that you wanted. But all of a sudden it is. It's like all of a sudden, something that you did not want before, suddenly you want. And that's what's really kind of like earthquakey for me about this reading. I wish, you know what I really wanted to invest in? The ability to have another camera so you can like see the cards. You could see what I'm looking at as I'm talking to you. Because I never really like I don't like the readings. Not that I don't like the information in the readings, but I don't like the readings where you can't see the reader's face. I like to have a conversation with you as if you're getting an actual reading from me, right? You'd see me in this perspective if you were sitting across the table from me, right? But at the same time, if you were sitting across the table from me, you could see the cards, and you can't see the cards. And that's why I want to put like a little video here. And I don't know how to do that yet. It's not that technologically advanced, but I just don't know how to do it. I'll figure it out. This is a good time to say, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, Sagittarius, please do subscribe. Help the channel grow. If you like this video, definitely like the video and then share it on other social media platforms, because that really helps Born Without Boundaries grow, is when I start to be shared on other platforms, on other unrelated sites. And also click that bell so that you get notified when I upload. I upload between 12 and 14 videos per week. So there's lots of content here for your spiritual development. Zodiac sign specific, and also other fun stuff like pick-a-cards. You'll see those listed in the playlists as well. But ultimately, Sagittarius, Sagittarius specific content comes out every Tuesday, along with Scorpio and Libra, but it comes out every Tuesday. But that's not your sun sign is not all that you should be looking at. Your sun sign is definitely important, but your moon and your rising sign are also extremely important. So check those out too. There's always an extended. That link is right below the video. You'll see it highlighted in blue, and that leads you to gated content, yes, over on Vimeo, but you can subscribe to Vimeo, and then you'll get notified when I upload the extendeds over there. Is about a day. They become available there a day before the link becomes available here. So you'll get access to the extended. And yes, they serve as their own video as well, so you don't have to watch these. But ultimately, I also do my weekly astrological forecast over there, which is totally free, but that's where I publish it. I publish it to Vimeo, I publish it to my website, and I publish it to Instagram. So if you want to follow those, just you can find my website, www.bornwithoutboundariestarot.com, or over on Instagram, born_without_boundaries. And I also do live readings there as well. So if you want to interact with me live, usually Monday through Friday, I'll do daily videos over on Instagram. So it's a lot of fun. And I'm not doing it right now. The personal readings I'm not doing now, and the daily readings I'm not doing now, because you can hear that I'm sick, going through some personal stuff. So and if you want to know more about that, you can go purchase last week's extended, because that's where I go into depth about it. But ultimately, I'm just trying to take care of myself right now, and so that's sort of like put on hold till a later date. There's still a lot of content over on Instagram, especially, that you may be interested in. So join me. Okay, Sagittarius. Okay. Change. That's the first thing that came out. So life is a journey. It would be very unfulfilling if each step was exactly the same as the last, because life is always changing. It is forever fresh and new. Allow your life to unfold gracefully. Be grateful for what was, is, and forever will be. And that, to me, as soon as I read that card, I was like, adventure. So Sagittarius, you're about to go on your next great adventure. And I think that that's what I love so much about this, is you're really about to just go on your next great adventure. And this change isn't going to be something that you don't like. It's going to be something that really excites you, because it's something that you want that you never knew you wanted. Divine mystery. You, along with the sun, earth, moon, and stars, are part of one creation, a divine mystery unfolding each moment. Be present and feel the power of now. Be in the moment and witness the wonder of it all. So something is majorly being revealed to you that you would have never even thought of before. Think global. You are being encouraged to spread your wings. Think outside the square. You are a citizen of the world. Expand your vision. Imagine the world within your heart. Embrace it. Surround it with love. Let it be. And so it will be. Okay, we have got a lot more. Oh, wow. A lot more came out. Hold on. Definitely this one. Divine intervention. There you go. That's the shock. That's the surprise that's happening to everybody right now. You may feel frustrated because something stalls or comes to a standstill. Progress seems painfully slow, yet this is a blessing. It is divine intervention at work. When the timing is in perfect harmony, all will come to fruition. Bam! Now let's go see what this change is and how exactly it's going to impact your life. Those answers are in the extended. That link is below. I will see you guys over